Hi, welcome to the Power Breakfast Show. As you can see, hapa ni mambo mzuri sana. As you can see, all about this Tuesday is all about good and healthy eating, and most importantly, hapa ya mwisho eating. We're trying to have the healthy into the eating, and so today we're talking about matters seafood. A lot of conceptions and misconceptions about it. We want to try to unpackage all this for you today, and of course all the setup that you can see in front of you, all that you will see in front of you, is all about that. Remember, you can talk to us using the hashtag for breakfast, and of course the food here courtesy of Sankara, and we're going to be talking to the chefs and everything about that. But before that, of course, kama kuna chakula, kuna jamaa moja anapenda kujitokeza sana, alikuwa amepotea kidogo lakini amerudi, anaitwa Street Disciple by ni Patrick Igunza aka Yegos.
Yeah man, thank you very much Phyllis. Ikifika mambo na food lazima tukue area.
Yes.
But me fish yenye ninajua ni ngege na mbuta
na omena.
Lakini leo machef watatuambia what other kind of seafood we do have and how basically we go about preparing the same.
Yes, of course. And now, of course, to put all this in perspective as well, we'll have a nutritionist and our in-house nutritionist, our in-house anaitwa Kirigongarwa, na wanatuangalia vile tunakula tusikule vibaya. So we'll just it over to her.
Thanks, Phyllis, for that. And quick correction, our guest this morning, Mr. Olola, here told me, is a dietitian, and I just quickly want you to explain to us the difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist.
A nutritionist. Thank you for the question. A dietitian uses the science of food,
okay,
which a nutritionist already has.
Yes.
Now to plan diets.
Okay.
Diets are planned based on the requirements of an individual.
Yes.
Each individual has specific nutritional requirements.
Okay.
Or dietary requirements.
So before we get into that, Willis Waburu maybe has read somewhere that he needs to eat less carbs and less, you know, or more vegetables.
Yes.
That theory might not per se work for him because
it might work for him as a general guide.
Yes, as a general guide.
But for much more benefit,
yes,
he needs a specifically designed diet that meets his requirements.
You've had. All right, so Mr. Olo, thank you very much. He's coming from the Aga Khan Hospital, and we're grateful to have you here as a dietitian. As we speak about, you know, the importance of seafood in our diets, over the years we've seen a lot of conversation really change from red meat to white meat,
yes,
and fish is considered, or seafood is considered white meat.
Yes.
Maybe we can start by understanding the importance. First, okay, maybe the shift from red meat to white meat, and then the importance.
The shift from red meat to white meat is basically because of the difference in the type of fatty acids that are there between the red meat and the white meat. Most of the white meat you'll have they have oils, and in red meat we have fats. Fat is solid at room temperature, and that's also you'll get in most of the red meat. The shift also comes due to other proteins that you would have in red meat, like in cases where someone has gout and they would be required to reduce their intake of red meat, then they'll benefit more from white meat. Yes.
Okay, so it's more of I guess health benefits one, and then there's also the nutritional aspect of it, the oils that you find in both the red meat and the white meat.
Exactly.
Okay. With that said, and you know, we're going to be seeing how different types of fish on that end are cooked. Willis Waburu will be learning, and Patrick Igunza, of course, will be learning how to make different types of fish. Is there anything like eating too much fish, too much seafood? Because you know, if you eat too much of red meat, you're prone to getting gout. You know, you're prone to your arteries blocking. Is there anything like eating too much?
Too much. Let me start by correcting some information that has been circulating around.
Yes.
Where you find people being told this food is good for you, and the other one is bad for you. Ideally, there's no food that is good, and there's no food that is bad. Too much of everything is harmful.
It's poisonous.
It's poisonous.
Yes.
So there are principles that guide diet planning.
Okay.
We look at the balance of the food, how you moderate, the adequacy, the calorie content, the nutrient content, all that, when we are planning a diet. So when it comes to dietetics or in planning, science of planning a diet, normally we don't consider food to be bad or to be good. It's a matter of how you balance, how you moderate, and how adequate that food is in the diet of that particular person.
Seafood, so maybe once or twice a week. For just to generalize, maybe once or twice a week.
It would be okay that way.
Yes.
Because if you eat too much seafood also, we have to know that the white meat is lacking in iron. The richest source of iron in our diet comes from the red meats, more so the organ meat.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you do more of white meat, then your diet might end up lacking in iron.
Yeah. All right. Let's now go back to Willie Saburo. Of course, we'll be back, Mr. Olo, in a bit. But Willie Saburo is taking us through some exotic things I'm seeing there.
Yes. So first of all, we allow the two chefs from Sankara to introduce themselves.
Sure.
Yes, my name's Willie Fred Kivungi. I'm the executive sous chef Sankara Hotel, Nairobi.
And I am Francis Ngugi. I'm a chef de partie at Sankara.
And he is Patrick Igunza, no knowledge of cooking. Alright, so walk us through exactly what we have here first, before we can go to what's the other side. Because what naona hii wamezoea ule mazoea tu omena na tilapia, so
what is it scary?
With me here I have different kinds of fish. This one is sea bass. This one is garupa. This is jumbo prawns. This is crab. These are mussels. The red one is tuna. Then we have scallops.
Tuna ni gani hapa?
The red one. The red one. This one. This is the tuna.
Only for
it's normally
become familiar with it.
Tuna sandwich.
It's normally eaten raw. Then with me here I have a calamari.
The calamari.
Yes. This is calamari is just a culinary name for squid.
Oh, squid. Okay.
Yes. Just the same thing.
Squid.
Yes, right. And with me here is a lobster. Yes.
So the lobster is this one right here?
Yes, lobster is this one right here. This is, this is the,
there it is. That is the lobster.
The lobster. Yes.
So the other ones I can see they've been
they are just the same. They are just been pre-portioned for ease of cooking. They are just the same that are on this side for ease of cooking.
Do we have some that are actually prepared holistically without having to
yes, like this one you can bake it whole in the oven and you can carve live as the guests come and eat.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what do we have here?
This is basically what is here, but it has been pre-cooked.
Okay.
Then we'll have to finish it in this stove. Yes.
So that means it has to undergo pre-cooking first before it's ready for being eaten.
Yes.
Alright. Or maybe the first we can
but there are some fish, like when we come to this side, for the sushi and sashimi, they are normally eaten raw. Sushi is basically a vinegared rice that has been incorporated with other things. Yeah, so we'll come to this side. Then sashimi is just a Japanese terms of pre-sliced fish, raw fish.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have their way of sushi.
It's really so we'll have problems pronouncing that.
Sushi. All right. So maybe before we start, there's always the salad bit. Maybe you can walk us through that first before we get to the.
All right. Yes. The first bowl here, we have a spicy calamari salad. We have its ingredients here. Then the process is you cut the vegetables into julienne style. Julienne is just thin slices like these ones. We have bell pepper, green, red, and yellow. Then carrots. Then we have celery. Then you take your bowl and you mix a little bit
of each.
Then you have your pre-cooked calamari. It's seasoned with salt, pepper, paprika, and lime juice. You mix together. Then there is the dressing.
Made of?
The dressing is made of olive oil, soy sauce, paprika, chopped chili, and some coriander. Then you shake so that it can mix well. You drizzle a little bit. Then you mix. I have gloves, so don't be afraid when I'm. Yeah, you mix. After mixing now, in your serving bowl, you plate.
And it's basically ready now.
Now it's ready to eat. It's ready to eat.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Is that a balanced meal? Seeing as you are the dietitian. No, I'm asking the dietitian, Mr. Olo. Your thoughts on that?
This is just a salad.
That's just a salad.
It's just
yeah,
a
so it's just a starter. Nothing crazy.
It's nothing crazy.
Okay.
But also maybe I can throw a question. There are those who eat salads and just say this is now healthy. Like I'll just wake up and do a salad, or at lunchtime I just do a salad and I'm like, that's it. Now I'm done. That was my meal. Is that healthy?
That's the reason I started by saying there's a misconception that there are some foods that are good and some are bad. There has been a misconception that fruits are good for us, vegetables are good for us. So we end up forgetting about carbohydrates, we end up forgetting about protein sources of food, we end up forgetting about the fats and oils, which makes it imbalanced. So taking salads plain without carbohydrates, carbohydrate source of food that is meant to give you ready energy, that would not be appropriate.
And to add on what he has said, this is a compound salad. A compound salad is a salad that is comprising of more than 2 ingredients. This can be even treated as a main meal by itself.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
It's only lacking on carbohydrates.
Carbohydrates,
yes,
of course.
it has the oil, it has the protein, it has the protein source, it has the vegetable. So the carbohydrate source would be lacking in it.
Okay. All right. So, Willis, do you want to start cooking, or do you want me to continue with Mr. Olo?
Okay, right. Let's first tell guys how to talk to us. You can talk to us using that is a very tempting question. You can talk to us using the hashtag for breakfast on Twitter, and our SMS line is also 22422. I'll send in your questions, views, and comments as well, and then we'll tell you exactly how we can, access this, and you can watch us eat a little later on in the morning. Hashtag for breakfast, guys. You can continue, then we'll come back.
Okay, one more. We've seen all these kind of fish that have been spread across the table, but I haven't seen you mention the ones that we're familiar with, the Nile perch, the tilapia, the omenes. Don't they fall under seafood category?
They still fall under seafood category, but I just wanted to introduce something different from what Nairobians are used to. Yes.
I get it. So but you still do some?
We still do, yeah. At the place we still do at our hotel. We still
so they're still fish?
Everything.
I mean seafood.
Yes.
So I still do consume.
Alright, so another question that has just come to mind is there a type of fish that is more superior than another in terms of the nutrients we receive, the oils we're getting? Is there something like one fish is more superior than another?
Thank you. When we eat fish, the primary aim is to get protein. Fishes are a good source of high quality protein. So the primary objective is for proteins. But if there's need for other nutrients, let's say like people talking about omega-3, for example, omega-3 is known to be richest in deep cold sea fish.
Deep
cold sea
water
fish.
Yeah.
Yes. The fish that we find in cold water and deep sea, they are much richer in omega-3 than others that we
so
know
are you
of.
saying us who are in Nairobi who do not have access to deep waters are not getting omega-3 supplements or oils?
Thank you. Omega-3 is quite interesting, the science of omega-3. Anytime you eat, there are oils we call essential fatty acids. For an adult, your body is able to make some of the omega-3s. Yes.
Okay.
Your body is able to make.
Okay.
It's just a matter of how you condition your body. There are some lifestyle behaviors that are known to affect the body's ability to make the omega-3s, like alcohol intake, lack of physical activity is known to minimize the capacity of the body to make omega-3.
Okay.
And so long as you are able to eat, let's say, soy oil, sunflower oil, corn oil, and you get the essential fatty acids, your body should be able to make some of those omega-3s. But generally, fish is known to be to supplement, and our usual intake, like the kind of oils we use, they are more richer in omega-6 than omega-3.
Okay.
So we end up taking higher proportion of omega-6 than omega-3. And when there is an imbalance between omega-6 and omega-3, then there's also health risk.
Okay.
Yes. So at someone living in Nairobi, I would advise, if you are supplement omega-3 and not omega-6.
Okay. Let's now talk about, the myths and the stories we've heard about consuming, consumption of seafood. And I'll start with the one that I was told when I was a very young child, that if you eat the head of the Nile perch or the tilapia, you'll be the brightest child ever. I will not say whether I ate or I didn't eat, but I just want to hear, is that a myth? Is that true? Is that false? I mean,
it is a myth.
It is a myth.
I would say it's a myth.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Raburu, I'm sorry. When you eat the head, you're still not bright. You're still not bright. No. Okay. The other one I've heard is that when women are pregnant, they should not consume a lot of fish.
A lot of fish.
Yes. I'd want to hear your take on that.
The reason behind that is because of mercury poisoning. Sea fish have been associated with mercury poisoning. Where does this mercury come from? The mercury comes from the pollution in the environment, the industrial activity, industrial waste that ends up being emptied in our rivers and end up in the lake. The mercury also comes from the cosmetics that we use. There are soaps, skin lightening soaps, creams, and lotions that contain a good amount of mercury. And when we bathe, after applying them, all that mercury ends up in the water system, and then they end up in the lake or in the ocean. In the ocean, there are small plants that end up utilizing this mercury, and then smaller species of animals in the lake or in the sea will eat the plants. Then these animals are eaten by other fish, and other fish that are cannibals also eat other fish.
Yes.
So there's what we call bioaccumulation, where that mercury ends up accumulating. Like fish like salmon is known to be a cannibal. They eat other fish. So you'll find that maybe the amount of, and also shark that eat other fish, the amount of mercury in shark could be higher than in the smaller fish, the likes of omena. So when you eat it, you'll end up having that mercury in you, and mercury is known to affect the development of the nervous system, the nerves and the brain. So you might end up with a child whose brain is not well formed, and even the adults themselves. The use of mercury containing cosmetics were banned because the people who use them end up developing kidney failure. Okay.
Let's now go to Willis Raburu, as is being taught, and Patrick Igunza, they're being taught how to cook, so they can come out of that bachelor lifestyle. So, gentlemen.
Yes,
so
right.
Is there a specific way that we're supposed to prepare this kind of seafood, the one that's on the pan right
The
now?
jumbo prawns.
First, I want to remind people, this is a lobster, this is a jumbo prawns, and you see it is cut into a half and skewered. The reason why it is not peeled off is when you cook, so that you can retain its flavors.
Maybe you can show it's that camera right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have
Yeah,
that.
it is normally cut with its shell. Then we clean it from the head, remove the intestines, then we season it and we skewer it so that it cannot flake when it is cooking on the pan. Yes. For the seasoning, we use salt and pepper, paprika, lime juice goes well with the fish, and some olive oil.
Sounds good even before you eat it.
Yes.
I'm cooking.
So you preheat your pan. It has to be hot, because when it is not hot, it will stick on the pan. When it is preheated, you see how it is dancing in the pan. When you preheat it, you just turn around, you grill until you attain this golden brown color. Yeah, then it will cook in its shell to retain its flavors and to ensure that the juices are not coming out. Yeah.
Tamu pale. And also, and not, what kind of oil do you use?
I use olive oil.
Olive oil.
Cooking it the best.
Alright, the best to cook.
Yes,
And then I
yes.
said you just sprinkled a bit of it.
Yeah, just sprinkle a
Use
little
a
bit,
little bit
not
of
too much.
See,
Otherwise
like-
it will become now shallow frying. And now we are... yeah,
And there's
yeah.
no damage in mixing the different species.
There's no damage because all is in the same family. Yes,
In
yes.
North Africa,
If it were beef, definitely it could not come in here. Yeah.
I guess it.
All right, all right.
Harufu tamu sana.
Yeah.
All of you are watching.
So do we have people who are getting interested in this kind of drinks? And Kerigo, do you like it?
Do I like what? Fish?
Yeah, the way, in
Seafood.
fact, even from the look of it.
Yeah, why are you putting me aside this morning? No, I do. I
The
mean,
last time we had a meal with Kerigo, we ate, was it nail patch?
Nail patch, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, no, I don't have a problem. I'll eat it. Don't worry. I know you want to say I'll eat it. I don't have
Yes, we'll have to
I don't have a problem.
have a taste.
But then I just want to ask Mr. Olo, we've seen them, frying the fish. That's one option, right? Is it the healthiest? Though they're using olive oil, which is considered a healthy move. But if I wanted to now go complete, healthy, what are my other options?
The other options would be
Can I answer that?
Oh yeah, you can. Sorry.
I think, like you said, olive oil is very healthy, yes, but you want to go completely healthy. Just poach the fish.
Poach the fish.
Yeah, poach the fish.
Okay.
Poaching is a way of cooking food that does not involve that. It's almost like boiling, but it's not just boiling, but you can see the water. The water is really hot, so the fish cooks in the water. If the water boils, then the meat from the fish comes out.
Disintegrates.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's not what you want.
Okay.
And you also know that fish cooks very fast.
Yes.
So you poach it in we call it kubuyo. Kubuyo is the stock in which you poach the fish in. That consists of ingredients that you have in the house, normal like onions, like garlic, lemons, maybe bay leaves, salt. That's what you use to poach the fish in. So, or also you can bake the fish as well, because baking you're using dry heat to cook the meat. So there's no, and then the fish has its own oil, like fish like salmon, which we have here, that is raw, has its own oil. So you don't really need a lot of oil to prepare the fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Willis, and
Right, so is this almost ready?
sorry, there's something. Sorry, there's something. Sorry.
if it is in fillet form, you can as well steam.
Yes. Okay. Steam the fish. Okay. All
Right.
right.
So I also just want to look at check some feedback as well. So somebody saying Sankara Nairobi and Patrick Igunza, kiasi chakula inatokea Igunza natokelezea. Hii uluya ni mbaya. Then there's somebody who says let me see here, somebody saying they want to taste it, somebody is saying I've never tasted seafood, someone offer me a complimentary next time another kuja. And then we also have, oh sorry, I should be reading their names. So that was at F Buire who said that. And then we have at MC Fortune MC saying loving the seafood show. And then the same MC Fortune MC saying he's salivating from Mombasa. And then the Ngosi at the Ngosi says, I'd like to taste that sushi fish. That was almost a tongue twister for me. Sushi
Fish.
fish. Yeah.
Wilfred,
Yes.
traditionally we used to have smoking as a means of preserving
Yes.
our fish, and then sometimes it's cooked thereafter. I wonder whether there's any damage that can be done to this specific species of fish
Yeah.
if they are smoked first for preservation purposes, and then perhaps cooked later on.
Perfect question. We normally smoke the fish, even in the hotel. We have smoked tuna, we smoke in-house. We have our smoker. We normally use the pine sawdust. It's normally very, very nice. It gives a distinctive flavor. Yeah. It's electrical. You put the sawdust in there. You put your fish on a rack. Then the sawdust underneath. Then you put it on. That's smoke, and we time it 40 minutes, 45, depending on the size of the fish. Yeah, we normally do that. They are normally smoked.
But you can't cook it just directly after it has been smoked.
After it is smoked, it's ready to eat.
You can eat it that
It is
way.
ready to eat for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as we continue watching it being smoked, perhaps you can help me serve. They're afraid to be the first
Wait,
one.
no,
to
you go
serve.
ahead and eat. But
Yeah.
Mr. Olo, I want us to talk about consumption of raw fish.
Raw fish.
What they're calling sushi, and the different terminologies around the world. What's your take on it? Seeing as there have been reports of people who have actually died after consuming raw fish. What's your take on that?
The known case in history was in the 1950s when people died in Japan after consuming raw fish, and that was attributed to mercury poisoning. I'll start by saying eating is normally controlled by our culture.
Yes.
Culture has a lot of influence on what we eat, what we perceive to be good food or bad food, or good way of preparation or bad way of preparation. Whether we cook it or not, the nutritional value will still be the same.
Oh, whether we cook it or not? Okay.
It's only that in the process of cooking, sometimes we end up denaturing some toxins that there could be.
Yes.
But in terms of mercury, cooking has not been found to create much change if it is due to mercury in the seafood.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's very interesting to know that, you know, whether raw or ready, it's the same.
Nutritional value.
You get the same whatever. There are those who are also allergic or don't like the taste of seafood, you know, yet a very vital component when it comes to giving us some nutrients that we need. What else then could they eat as a substitute?
When it comes to allergy, then there's a need to identify which particular one the person could be allergic to, and then once it is identified, then they can enjoy the other options that they are not allergic to. In what we call elimination diet, you eliminate.
Sorry?
Elimination diet.
Yes.
Where you eliminate some food to try and see, then later on you can introduce to identify exactly which one. Because when it comes to allergy, you find people end up having general belief, for example, that if I'm allergic to tilapia, then I would be allergic to Nile perch too. Then I would be allergic to omena. And that would not be the case. You could be allergic to tilapia, but you tolerate Nile perch well.
Yes.
Even from the lakeside where I come, there are people who tolerate, for example, omena and tilapia, but they cannot tolerate other types like with native name, we call them mumi, kamongo. If they eat those, they find that they react to them.
Okay.
So it's important to identify which particular one you're allergic to.
And then the elimination method, where you work now, crossing out what's working for you,
what's working for you,
not working for you.
Exactly.
Okay. The gentlemen are eating, so maybe Patrick, and you're having a very candid conversation there. Tell us what you've learned. That's right.
We've just learned that when it comes to the prawns, you don't eat the shell.
Of course you don't. Really? You didn't know that in 2016?
No, I didn't know that. But he says if you believe in yourself and you have really strong teeth,
you can chew the shell.
You can.
Don't, you'll get choked.
I mean, even he
You'll
agreed
get
with
choked. I'm telling you. You'll get choked. Don't try.
Leave the good one.
Willis?
Yes, so here we have salmon and red snapper. I'm now a fish specialist, so salmon and red snapper. So tell us about this and how you're making it and what the process is.
These are fillets of red snapper and some tuna fish. Basically, you season with salt and pepper is a key in the seasoning. Then some lime juice, then some olive oil. We never use another oil. We only use olive oil because it is healthy. Then you pan fry the fish. Then afterwards, I'm gonna make a sauce to go with it. I'll deglaze some wine and onion and garlic to accompany this in a short while. This is the process.
So how long does it take to cook?
Yeah. This takes 7 to 10 minutes to cook. Yes. It's a fillet.
Okay.
No bone. It's ready.
It's ready, that one, for sure.
Yeah.
That one is ready.
It's ready.
Na mbona zikiwa ready mnapelekea Igundu sasa? Why does the finished product keep going that way?
Only kwa na plate yako sijui umeiweka hapo. Kwenye kamera imeturn kwako ukaiangusha.
Good Lord.
Okay. Interesting.
And so what are the what are the benefits of the different? Maybe I'll ask Olo to tell us as well. Is there a specific, like Kirigo was saying, people like white meat versus red meat? Is it all about portion, or which one is, like you said, there's no good or bad, but which one is preferred between white meat and red meat?
I would say both would give you the same quality of protein, and red meat would give you more iron than white meat. White meat, less cholesterol. White meat, less of, there's the type of fatty acids we call trans fats. You get less of trans fats from white meat. White meat, depending on the fish you are eating, will give you the omega-3 oils, and those would be lacking in red meat. It would also depend on your health condition. If you are a patient of gout, then would tell you to minimize your red meat, and by then you'll have the option of white meat. Yes.
Good stuff. I just wonder, how much should I prepare myself with when I want to come and perhaps just have a taste of seafood? What's the least that it can cost me?
It's very cheap. I think we are the cheapest in the market. Only 3,800.
Only 3,800.
Yes.
On the Metosha full tag by the
Plus, there is another addition on top of that. A glass of sparkling wine. Yes.
Okay, that will come as an additional.
Yes.
A question to the chef. Someone has asked, can we boil fish?
Boil. Like I said before, we can best poach it because the meat disintegrates really quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So poaching is the best.
Poaching is the best.
Okay.
way.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add for us, Mr. Olo, this morning as we're about to come to the end?
As you're about to come to the end, I would tell Kenyans
We are in the process of making
to watch their weight.
To watch their weight.
Watch their weight.
Okay, just hold on. Let's finish with Mr. Olo and then we'll come to you. Yes.
And when it comes to watching weight, I would go further to tell them it would be necessary for those who are in the process of monitoring or managing their weight to know the composition of the weight that they are managing. The weight is a component of fat, muscle, bone, water, and fat has been proven to be to predispose us to more health risks than muscle. So if you are heavy and you have more of muscle, you're better off than someone who is lighter but has more fat. Yes.
Okay.
In my practice, I've seen people with normal BMIs but with very high fat percentage.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
All right, so it's controlling. All right, let's come back to you guys as we come to the end. We're being taught something there.
Yes. We're being taught how to make sauce. Hold on, let me swallow.
Yes.
Yes, we're being taught how to make a specific sauce to go with this.
Yes. We have the chopped onions. We have chopped garlic. Little bit olive oil, salt, pepper. Then in culinary we say you sweat the onions and garlic. You don't say we fry. Sweating. They are not supposed to brown. You sweat them. Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe when as this prepares, you can be telling us about the theme nights, maybe that where the seafood is served as well.
All right. We have 3 theme nights in Sangara Hotel, Nairobi. On Wednesday we have Italian nights, Italian themed. On Thursdays we have Asian nights, and on Fridays is when we have the seafood. Out of experience, the seafood night has become more popular. Yeah, being on a Friday and people have time to enjoy themselves unlike the weekdays. So it is the best selling out of all the theme nights that we have.
And we are so far liking the taste.
Yeah.
You
see the consistency? The onions are not browning.
They are sweating.
They are sweating. You have chardonnay, white wine, you deglaze.
Unaweka na fujo hivyo?
Yeah.
Inakuja na fujo. You deglaze.
You deglaze. Deglaze is just cleaning a pan by wine. You see now the pan is not that, it's like it has been washed.
And wine is the only substance that can be used.
It's the best. Yes. Then a little bit. Ideally when the wine boils, you see it is evaporating. Now the alcohol part of it disappears. Now it is fish.
It's very
alcoholic.
John Mutudo, who might be watching.
We are just trying to design the taste. Then you have your cream, a little bit, like 15 ml, that is 3 tablespoons. Then now you bring it to boil. You see I was cooking at low heat, now I increase the heat, you bring it to boil.
Awesome.
So that now it can boil figures. Then now I reduce, I simmer. Yes.
You are
You season, salt and pepper.
Maliza nyoko nao kwanza. Unakula mpaka nyoko kwa pan.
I was saying to ask a question, but
now I have put the salt and pepper. There is something called correcting the seasoning. Now I have to confirm whether it is up to date, to add or not to add. Yes.
Okay.
I have to add a little bit. Now I have corrected the seasoning.
so maybe even as you do that, there's a question that has come in on Twitter that I would like to ask Mr. Olo, who is the dietitian as well. Is it true that prawns and octopus are a natural aphrodisiac?
Hey.
Pass.
It's not prawns.
Jumbo prawns.
Oysters.
Is it?
Here we go.
Chris has said it is oysters.
Mr. Olo.
It's the in-house dietitian.
The in-house dietitian has said. All right, that one is
that one is answered. Whoever it is,
that is free of charge.
Yeah, free of charge. I'm not charged on it. Oysters.
Right.
Now
Okay.
the sauce is ready.
So the sauce is ready?
Yes, I think you can sample.
Yeah, let us say. At least leo mumeanza na huku jamani. Nilikuwa nimependa igunza sana lakini sina samaki.
Kabisa.
Haya, tumalizeni basi. Unaona watu hapa wamekula.
So where is
Useme bagi ya tu chai.
the fish?
What else are we cooking now?
Now I want him to take you through the sushi and sashimi.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hizo jina tu.
Right, go ahead.
All right.
So Mr. Olo. So.
Mr. Olo, you can.
No, Mr. Olo is one like Igunga. That's passion. No, just go ahead and teach us now how to.
So I'll give you a brief history about sushi. It's one of the oldest foods in the world, first of all. Definitely the healthiest food in the world. We can argue about that. Yeah? The reason why I say that is because most of the ingredients you use in making the sushi are raw ingredients. And you know the best way, one of the best ways to, I don't want to say something that will make you shoot me. One of the best ways to consume food and to get the whole goodness is when they're raw. So we use like what I've done here. This is called a maki roll. A maki roll is any kind of sushi where the seaweed is outside, and the seaweed being this piece of paper here. It's like a vegetable. You could say it's what the fish eats in the sea. Yeah? That's what they use. So so this is what you use to put the rice in. So when sushi was introduced back in the 8th century, they used to preserve the fish in rice up to 4 years so that it's edible. But now as people traveled and time changed, it became apparent that it had to change the way of preserving the sushi, which meant that there was the invention of rice vinegar. So now, instead of preserving the fish with the rice, they fermented the rice, got the vinegar out of the rice, and that's what they use now to preserve the fish. So essentially, the sashimi, which is the raw fish, is eaten when it's raw. And how you eat it, as you can see, the way I've plated it. This is the salmon, which is raw, and we have wasabi. Wasabi is an antibiotic root, like turmeric. Yeah. So it is ground, and once it is ground, it becomes it's what enables you to eat the fish with. So that, because you know fish has bacteria, very bad bacteria, that food poisoning from fish can actually kill you. So the wasabi prevents you from being infected with the bacteria.
Alright.
What you can see here is ginger. Ginger is now good because you might find the taste of wasabi is very bitter, and the taste of the fish, so ginger is good to cleanse your palate. Gives you a nice finish to it. So at Sankara, we have sushi 3 times a week. We have sushi on Wednesdays, which is on Thursdays, which is on Asian night. We have sushi on Fridays, which is the seafood night, and then we have sushi for brunch during our Sunday brunch.
Okay.
So
so sushi is basically raw fish and rice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Sushi is the whole dish.
The whole dish.
Yeah.
What is it? And I guess that's what people are getting confused. This. What? Yeah.
This. Now this is a sushi roll, but I've done it in a more modern way, because you see traditionally people do sushi in this way.
Like that,
When you go to Japan, people do sushi like this.
Yes.
They don't put so much madoido in the sushi.
Okay, okay.
But
yours is modern.
No, not mine.
Yours is modern.
Not even mine. Not even mine.
Yeah.
It's because the world is now a global village.
Of course, yes.
You see?
Yes.
So, you might not find everything you need to have sushi when you're in Italy.
Agree. No, I agree. I agree totally.
So you have to have sushi in.
I totally agree.
So we call it modern sushi.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have it with soy sauce. I have a bit of mayonnaise here that I have mixed with wasabi. Remember what wasabi is? Then with ginger. And this kind of sushi you can have with any kind of sauce. You can have with hoisin sauce. You can have with chili sauce. So it's take your pick.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Then. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Willis and Digunza, as you are eating, anything else you've learned you want to share?
That the food is tasty.
Awesome.
No, really. No, really.
Absolutely delicious.
Delicious.
Totally nutritious.
Lemon,
Have you learned
paprika.
something? How to cook something instead of eating?
Yes, we've been watching how to cook.
Okay. All right.
Even the sauce
Chef,
itself.
can you please clear the pan so they can show us what they've learned?
We don't have time.
We're going to see what you learned.
Unfortunately,
Maybe
we are
next
running out of
Tuesday.
time. Next
Unfortunately.
Tuesday. We'll be having power breakfast, sushi, morning, something of that sort.
All right, then.
And maybe just last comments here. Gaga Meshak says, sasa tumesahau sisi ni watangazaji na tumeanza kukula, lakini si hata watangazaji hukula ama tunafanya aje? Kwa tumetea uizi. And then Bisieri Mary says, Igulza huwezi pitwa na food yote ingawaje it's good for your health.
Yes, of course.
Right. And then finally we have Paul Olaka says, I so wish to taste seafood. He even goes on to say, I am on Dennis Sprit Road.
Mwambia Simba.
Aya, pitia hapo kwa gate tupatane na George.
Atakushamali tuko.
Atakuonyesha place tuko. Right, yes. Kirigo?
Alright, well, that marks the end of the Power Breakfast show for this Tuesday morning. We're hoping that you've been informed, educated, entertained. You've learned something new. You've learned the benefits of seafood, the cons of seafood, and hope you'll have made a wise decision by the time you're going to the store to buy seafood the next time. Mr. Olof, thank you very much for coming and teaching us a few things here and there. We really appreciate.
Thanks for hosting me.
Yeah, I want to appreciate the crew from Sankara. They've been able to teach us also how to cook, you know, exotic fish, quote unquote, exotic seafood. So I want to say a big thank you to you guys. On behalf of everyone who makes this show a success, my name is Kiri Wangara, wishing you a beautiful Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, nayo sisi hapa
Kujibona ndio zetu. Lakini kabla tumalizie, kama mimi nataka kumake easy food home, nitapata wapi hizi ma prawns na ma oyster na everything else, tuna, salmon, in terms of supplies?
All over. Any shop that is selling seafood, we have Aloha, we have city markets, everything is available. Yes.
Sasa umesikia zinapatikana, so usikuwe na excuse. Hiyo ndio design tunakafunga hii mtaa.
Right, and maybe the last thing is the best pairing. What do you take with seafood? Like with this, what is the best accompaniment?
Chai.
Wachana na uluya wewe.
We have new potatoes.
Okay.
The best goes with that. We have paella rice. A lot of things. Yeah.
And
just to mention as well.
And some wine that is here, but
Definitely.
kwa sababu ya ule jamaa natazama acha tutaichukua saizi or even after.
Chai.
But anyway, thank you guys so much, and again thank you to Sankara for coming and providing all this. We come to the end of the show, like River said. Street Disciple,
Sina mambo mengi kujibonda tu. Fish inaweza pia.
Alright, my
Kama ungepata time mjibonde.
My name is Willis Saburi, reminding us always that successful people look like you, and of course like the great Manchester United. Have a wonderful day.